Hi, my name is Drew Brown. I am currently an admissions counselor here at Azusa Pacific University. Before I was an admissions counselor, I was a student at APU, graduated in 2015, and I've actually spent the past 5 years working in higher education across the country.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Logan. I'm also an admissions counselor here at Azusa Pacific University. Before I was an admissions counselor, I also was a student. I graduated in 2016 with my degree in psychology. I love what I get to do here at Azusa Pacific University, and I've been doing it for the past 3 years. One of the questions that I get asked all the time when I meet with families is, why APU? Is it really worth the investment?
Yes, the end. Corny joke, transition. All right, so one of the things we talk about the most when we're talking about college and searching for colleges, whether you are a new student as an early high school or you're about to make that decision, is something called ROI. And ROI stands for return on investment. It's just like anything, if you were to put money into a new car or a home, or in this case, an education, it's important to know that what you're putting in now is going to pay dividends down the road. And so return on investment is a really important topic, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this session. We're going to cover 4 very important factors in ROI. It's affordability, employability, diversity, and academic reputation.
So let's talk about affordability. You guys have probably heard all sorts of rumors and myths that you can't afford to go to a private college. It's going to cost so much. You make too much money to receive any sort of aid, or you make too little amount of money to receive any sort of aid, or you make not enough money for your student to receive enough aid to go to that university.
I've heard it all.
But I'm here to share with you guys today that 100% of our students are receiving some form of aid. And that can come through various forms.
So there's a lot of different types of aid. There's merit-based and then there's need-based aid. Merit-based is scholarships. So at APU, we actually have some of the highest scholarships nationwide for private colleges, and that's because we really care about giving students a great start to their experience. So we offer everything from $7,000 to $21,000. So if you're a high school student, we base that on your GPA and your test score, and if you're a transfer student, we base that on your college GPA. And Jasmine, is it only for freshman students?
Absolutely not. These scholarships are available to all students, even our transfer students. So you have the same tier of scholarships as our incoming freshman class, from $7,000 to $21,000 a year. And that could be renewable during your time here at Azusa Pacific University.
One of the things we talk about most is the difference between a sticker price and a true cost. So a sticker price is everything added up together before any scholarships, grants, loans are added in. So it's your room and board, it is your tuition, it is everything, your health insurance, all added up. True cost is what you pay after you take out that scholarship. So for APU, after you take out scholarships, grants, loans, our true cost is highly competitive and is actually less than most other schools in our tier.
Yeah, and so let's talk a bit more about grants. As long as you apply for financial aid, you can find out if you're eligible for a federal grant, a state grant, or even an APU grant. 52.6% of our incoming students receive the APU grant, which is our institutional grant that we offer to students based upon their financial aid application.
And $23,092 versus $32,300, those are actually the averages of our loan payments. So our loan debt after they graduate. So loans, what they are basically is you take out money now and you pay it back later after you graduate. So obviously you want to have lower debt after you graduate. At APU, our average student graduating, their loan debt is $23,092 versus other private schools nationwide, it's $32,300. So that $9,000 difference is really big when you're talking about money you're paying back in the future.
And finally, all on-campus jobs are work-study eligible. So if you qualify for work-study, you can work at any of our jobs here on campus. And even if you don't qualify for work-study, you can still work on any of our on-campus jobs that we have available to students here.
My first job as a freshman was actually in the admissions office calling students. So I always thought that I would learn what I wanted to do someday in classrooms, which a lot of students do. But for me, it was actually my on-campus job that made me realize what I wanted to do. So 9 years later, I'm an admissions counselor. Finally, we want to talk about also affordability. So that's the value of an APU degree long term. We mentioned earlier that the average loan debt for APU students is $23,000 versus the private schools is $32,000. I just want to repeat that again because that is a really important number to keep in mind. That $9,000 difference is huge.
And then we want to talk about graduation rates because you're investing into such an important degree. So the industry standard is 6 years for a graduation rate, and for Azusa Pacific University, we're at 68% compared to our Cal States at 57%. And one thing I do want to point out about that graduation rate is the fact that we have so many resources on campus to ensure that you can graduate on time. Through our Academic Success Center, where you can have a 4-year academic roadmap that'll let you know what classes you need to take throughout your 8 semesters at APU to ensure you graduating on time.
So also retention rates. Retention rates are after a student's freshman year, how many of those freshmen come back to campus the next year? At APU, that's 85%, and nationally, that is 61%. So that's a large gap between those two because we have excellent academics and we have excellent community, and our community makes sure that you'll stay after your freshman year because you'll want to be here.
Next, we want to talk about employability, which is your student getting a job. I'm assuming that most people don't want your student to be on the couch after graduating. So we want to talk about ways that your student will be employable through Azusa Pacific University.
Our last year, our graduating class, our 2019 graduating class, they actually reported 86% of them are currently enrolled in grad school or in jobs after they graduated. We're really proud of them. They worked so hard in college, and so it makes sense that they should be able to get grad school and jobs right after they graduate.
And the average salary that APU alumni are earning is $51,100 after graduating. So students are having an opportunity to be receiving competitive salary rates. And then we also offer over 2,000 jobs on campus, which probably contributes to that average salary rate because students are getting work experience, valuable work experience with all those different jobs that they can work in. And finally, our Career Center. Our Career Center is wonderful. When I was a student here at APU, I went to the Career Center every single year that I was here because I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was constantly doing career matching quizzes, helping me figure out what is my vocation, what am I meant to do? And then they would review my resume. We went over my LinkedIn account. We also did interview prep. So I learned how to interview well. So when I graduated from college, and that was about 4 years ago at this point, I only went 1 month unemployed. And that's just because I didn't want to have a job. I wanted a summer vacation, but I've always had a job lined up ready to go. And I can solely attribute that to the Career Center and helping me prepare for every single job interview I've ever had. So shout out to the Career Center. Thank you so much.
This final point is actually one of our newest developments. It's recently an independent research council actually researched long-term, so career-wide earning for different graduates in our area, in our tier of schools, and APU is actually ranked first, and our alumni earn more over a lifetime than other schools. We want you to graduate, and we want you to be able to go and do different things, and we also want you to be able to support yourself after you graduate. That is a huge thing, that we are number one in total earning for our alum. An independent research council actually recently released findings that said APU among our competitor schools, so among our tier of schools, our students actually earn more after they graduate over a lifetime than our competitors. We were the highest ranked in that class. That is something we are so excited about and proud of because our students, like I said earlier, they work so hard, and it's really exciting to see that results in the real world, not just on campus, but when they go, they earn higher than our competitors do.
Next, we want to talk about diversity and access because that is going to be such a key factor when it comes towards our investment and why APU stands out.
Yeah, I came from out of state to APU, and I was unaware that LA County, where APU is located, Los Angeles County is actually one of the most diverse counties in the nation and one of the most diverse counties in the world. And APU, because we belong there, we want to reflect our community. So this year, actually 63% of our students are actually students of color on campus. We want students to have intercultural, multi-ethnic community, and we want to have that community thrive. And so we have our Student Center for Reconciliation and Diversity available to students. And they help spearhead that conversation on campus of how do we both learn from each other and create a beautiful community on campus that will result in real-world work application after you graduate.
At Azusa Pacific University, we are a first-generation friendly campus. We love our first-generation students so much that we've created several different programs available for students to be able to access. Through Gen 1 Scholars, where you can be paired with a mentor who's been through the process just like you and can be able to talk about what it's like to be a first-gen student, as well as through our TRIO program, which allows students, a federally funded program, to be able to have access to different resources such as budgeting and financial planning. They also go on a field trip, which is pretty cool. And then finally, our Gen 1 Summer Bridge program, where students will have an opportunity to be on a college campus before starting school and receiving college credit. The way that we define first generation here at Azusa Pacific University is students whose parents or guardians have not graduated with a bachelor's degree. So what we want to do at APU is champion alongside you guys as you are some of our first, if you're the first to go to college in your family.
We're also very military friendly. So we were voted in the top 15% as schools that are best for vets. And so whether you are a vet yourself or you have a veteran in your family, we are a yellow ribbon school. And if you're interested in being in the ROTC, we offer Army ROTC, and we also partner and have Air Force ROTC on campus. So we think every student coming here has a very unique background, story, and journey. And we want to partner with you in that specific story and help you find the resources you need to graduate on time and do well.
Our academic reputation. You might be wondering, okay, what is APU known for? Well, 80% of our biology and chemistry and pre-med students are accepted into some of their top choices for graduate or medical school. So students are getting an opportunity to jumpstart their careers after graduating from APU.
Year after year after year, we are also voted in the top 10 for nursing programs. That's nationwide. I was a theology major, English minor, and I have the utmost respect for anyone in the sciences because I'm glad God created people who are good at science so that I don't have to do it. And I had two friends who, they were best friends, nursing majors all through APU, and then afterwards, after APU, in 2 months, they got a job at UCLA Pediatrics Hospital. And that's one of the nation's top hospitals, and they were highly sought after. Our nursing students get to work in top hospitals while they're in college, and then after they graduate, they're able to work in those top colleges as well.
Part of the reason that makes our 80% acceptance rate and our top 10 nursing program is our faculty. Azusa Pacific University has been given 2 Carnegie classifications, one for high doctoral research activity. What that means is that we output a lot of research. And this research is high ranked and it's in different journals all around the world. And students will have opportunities to be able to do that alongside their professors, maybe even published with some of their professors in those different journals. And so the second Carnegie classification that we've received is a community engaged one. Students at APU are involved in the community, in their local, their national, and global community. We create students who want to engage in the community, and we really want to give back and serve those around us.
The research Carnegie classification, that's only given to 5% of schools nationally. So only 5% of schools get that classification. It's something you have to do a lot of research in order to achieve. And when you're here, it's not just faculty doing the research, it's also students doing the research. We're also voted in the top 30 of BFA acting programs. And I like to say we're in the top 30 for 2 reasons. One, I learned this watching HGTV with my mom. It's location, location, location. And I mean, I can't really imagine a better location to be and to practice acting than right by Los Angeles, which is the headquarters for the entertainment industry.
We're only 45 minutes away without traffic.
With traffic, it's like 46 minutes, so it's great. And the second reason is because of our class sizes. So our classes, the average is 19 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 11:1. So you're going to be in small classes, and for a program like BFA that is very hands-on, very tactile, you want to be working one-on-one with your professors. You don't want to be in lectures with 300 students where you're not actually going to practice what you're learning. And so those small classes keep us in the top when it comes to our acting BFA or our nursing programs or any of our others.
And because of those faculty members that students have access to, they're able to gain a global network, which is part of the reason why in our accounting program, 100% of our students have a job placement after graduating. Actually, even before they walk across the stage, they've been hired by top 5 accounting firms, as well as with local businesses, with churches, with nonprofits. Our accounting students are highly sought after, and they are being employed.
Finally, APU was voted number 3 as a hidden gem in California. Jasmine, can I say a corny joke?
Please, I'm all ears.
Okay, so in the 1850s, people came to California to find hidden gems. They came to find gold. Today, you've come virtually to find the hidden gem of education.
But
Thank you. Moving on.
is APU worth the investment? We revisit this question again.
Yes.
Yes, it is, because we offer some of the most competitive scholarship offers ranging from $7,000 to $21,000 a year, and that's for both freshmen and transfer students.
You can also graduate on time. You don't have to wait for the classes you need to graduate. Classes are going to be open, and you'll be able to graduate in 4 years.
And students, AP alumni, make more money over the course of a career through a recent outside study.
Students also have access to world-class faculty and research opportunities. We mentioned that earlier with the Carnegie classifications. Your students have the opportunity to do research on campus, side by side, shoulder to shoulder with their professors, preparing them for grad school or real-world work after they graduate.
And finally, APU provides students with a diverse campus with a global perspective. APU is a school that was founded by difference makers for difference makers, and having this diverse campus with a global perspective is going to really equip you well to go out and make a difference in the world. We want to prepare you for anybody that you may be talking with that come from all sorts of different walks of life. So we thank you guys so much for joining us virtually in our YAPU presentation. It has been great. You can contact Drew and I through various channels. Our emails will be listed down below, as well as in our chat room.
Yeah, thanks for joining us virtually. Please tip your virtual waitress and drive your virtual car home.